A very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight again on the Evening Review. My name is Kazondunge. Tonight on the platform we are joined by Welcome Kazondunge. He is the president of All Africans Assembly, that is AAA or AAA, and he's here to engage us on a subject that I will introduce in a moment. But thank you very much, sir. You are clad in full military regalia. Tell us first and foremost just about the All Africans Assembly. What is it?
Thank you so much, Mr. Njombela. Warm Pan-African greetings to all the viewers and listeners out there. And it is definitely my pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you, sir.
Highly appreciated. The regalia. It just shows that Namibia ought to be in a fight.
Yeah.
On a daily, hourly, minutely fight against corruption, fight against poverty, unemployment, and all social ills.
Yeah.
And our biggest social ill is the lack of land for our people. Namibians, in their numbers, are yearning for land. Rightly so, because it's only through land that you would ensure food sovereignty. Namibia lacks food sovereignty, and it is as a result of land. And this is the fight that all Namibians should be engaged in. We are talking about agriculture. Agriculture is not being practiced in the air. It's not being practiced on the roof of a house. It's being practiced on land. So surely, first thing first. We are telling people to plant, grow your own food, grow food for the nation. Grow where? Back to the All Africans Assembly. It's a political organization. We are aging, I can't remember precisely, but that has been formed around 2023 to address specifically these issues. The government since independence has failed the Namibian nation. Government could not provide jobs. Government could not alleviate poverty as per the index indicators. These are not my own assumptions. We have got an unemployment rate of, let me put it moderately, of over 40%. So Namibian land, arable land, is owned by the previously advantaged, who holds more than 70% of the Namibian commercial land. So past injustices has not been addressed, and this is the failure of government. Jobs has not been created, natural resources have not been exploited for the benefit of the majority of Namibian nations, and we have remained in abject poverty since independence. I can't see where I will say government has really done excellently. Just take a Small simple example.
Yeah.
Government has failed to deliberately produce a San permanent secretary.
Son.
Yeah. A permanent secretary from the San community.
But the San community has a deputy minister, which is higher.
No. Don't take me there. Permanent secretary is the administrator, and the deputy minister is being appointed by whoever at his or her own wish and will.
Yeah, but let me challenge you to add on that, Mr. Kazondunge. Because permanent secretary is not the highest position in that hierarchy. So the San people have been appointed, or at least there's one that has been appointed at even a higher level than that in the hierarchy. So why are we counting the one that is below?
Permanent secretary is the accounting officer.
Yeah.
Is the manager, is the drive, and he should be equipped with some knowledge, techniques, and education.
Do you think
Whereas,
yeah,
for a deputy minister, what qualifications are sought? What experiences are sought? In other words, the human resource development for the previously disadvantaged has not been there.
I don't think there's many tribes in the country that can claim to have been deliberately cared for more than the San. We must confront that truth. There are programs designed for the San people, even at tertiary institutions. In the Vice President's office, they said a department specifically for the marginalized communities, and the San are predominantly the beneficiary of that. That is, of course, in other areas of your argument I understand, but for the San, I beg to differ.
So you beg to differ that indeed, since independence, there has been some San permanent secretaries.
No.
Let me take it from you. Yeah, okay.
No, permanent secretary is not the only measurement.
That's, yeah. I didn't say that's the only measurement.
Yeah, but you can't just pick one item and leave the rest uncovered. That is my point.
So, my apologies. I was supposed to have picked those that are covered.
No, we're having a conversation.
Yes.
No need to apologize. I'm just, I know you are being sarcastic.
Maybe.
But yeah. Because there are many tribes. I mean, my tribe only got a permanent secretary now for the first time in this administration. For the first time since independence.
So the San PS is still to come. And this is what I'm saying.
So
just like we never had a police commander from the Tswana community. Yeah. Just like we haven't had a Navy commander from the Himba tribe. Just like we haven't had a buster who is a chief in the police, commander, or the NDF or so. And government to redress past injustices and to put affirmative action properly in motion. These are the centers that needs to be considered. And for 35 years, if everybody hasn't had a round of being somewhere there, then we definitely need to confront it heads on. We shouldn't only say the deputy minister is there, so never mind the rest.
No.
It's a hierarchy that needs to be completed from bottom up. From bottom up, because you are giving it time to ferment. It has already fermented for 35 years.
Yeah.
So what are we still waiting for?
I do not disagree with that in general. Your organization, the All Africans Assembly, you in particular, wrote a letter on the 28th of August to Professor Joseph Diescho, who appeared in an interview with me, and he made some remarks that you thought were unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe just to, before you
Get into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you delve into that. Whatever you say and whatever whoever says has got two sides to the coin.
Yes.
On the one side of the coin, that's straightforwardly what you want to say. And on the other side of the coin is the message that I receive.
Is that now a reference to the subject that I'm about to get into?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, we are a country. We must speak to each other. That's why we create this platform, so that the nation can really have a conversation with itself. But in one of the things that you said is that you said he made some dangerous and racist and divisive comments on the agenda of my show. You sounded like a classical imperialist and neo-colonialist in a black skin. And then you went into specifics of why you were saying this. For example, you said that Namibians were not abused. You said that he made that remark that Namibians were not abused. Which Namibians are you referring to? Then we mentioned the Kavangos, including your own father, and Caprivians and Zambesians were not part of the liberation struggle. They were just wheelbarrowed, even being lied to in order to take part and believe into the struggle. What do you mean the Kavangos and Zambesians did not, and people from Zambezi did not participate in the struggle?
You see, thanks you started with that question, because Professor made that comment himself.
You believe as a president of a political movement, you believe that version of events?
No, that's why I'm challenging it, because he said some people were not abused.
Yeah.
Some people, so to say, did not have an in-depth understanding of the struggle. And the likes of him had to go to the people, including his own father, telling him, start believing now that you are being abused, even though you are not being abused. Start believing now that we are in the middle of a struggle and it needs to be won. So the first signal that you send out there is, those people were not abused, but which is not the case. Namibians from all walks of life were abused, were misused, were tortured, were killed, with the exception of none. So first, to want to hint that it didn't happen, even though it happened, that's where my problem comes in.
Yeah, but Mr. President, here it's yourself who is saying that they were not part of the struggle, and
that came from what Joe Diescho has said, if you would go back into that.
No, but he didn't say
the insinuation is for the second person or for the reader or the listener, the message is they were not part of the struggle. That's not what I said. They were part and parcel of the struggle. But the insinuation from what Joe Diescho has said would be interpreted, even by myself, that people from the Kavango and Northeast were not abused.
Okay.
Yes.
You've made that point. Now you've clarified. Now I understand. You said he was glorifying white supremacy. Of course, this must have been in reference to when I asked him what the role of white people should be in a modern dispensation, and he was going on about them because of historical factors. They remain resourceful in many things. They understand a few things better than perhaps some that were not part of that process. And we said, how do we best exploit the resources, whether it's human resources or capital that they possess? And I think his comment was really just to say that there's something that they can contribute, and then you say it's white supremacy. He's praising white supremacy.
White supremacy mentality. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what he's advancing.
Why?
You see, if as a government
Yeah.
we have failed
Yeah.
to make our own people believe in ourselves,
Yeah.
that we are equals or we are better than whoever, and we can do the job, we shouldn't scapegoat it by saying, but there are people out there who can do it. Where are our own people? We were fighting for our own people to take charge of our country's affairs.
I don't think Joe Diescho was asking for a replacement, that it was an alternative to black people. You were just saying, in addition to the workforce and the skills that we have, let's have everybody have their hands on the deck.
Why should we still want to have a relapse of what does not have good memories in our thoughts? Why can't we do the jobs ourselves if we can do it? We have failed to train our own people sufficiently to take proper roles, to take responsibilities, and that's why we are lagging behind, and that's why we are still looking over our shoulders. Where are those guys from whom we have taken over? Because up to here we cannot anymore. We have proven that we cannot. So now we should look over our shoulders. That's not the solution. The solution is human resources capacitation of our people, those who were deprived of the opportunities to lead this country to glory. And that failure is squarely on the door of government.
Yeah, but if you are saying we are all Namibians, we are 3 million people in this country. This one is skilled in engineering. This one is in teaching. This one is in kindergarten teaching, or whatever. Why can't we have a pool of all these skills in one, instead of saying, oh, the 500,000 people who are of a different race, for argument's sake, their skills, we don't need them. We are just depriving the country.
There's nothing wrong from taking from a pool, but there is everything wrong wanting to insinuate that those people will do a better job than the other people. Capacitate all of them, and then you won't need to come to a point where you will say the Ovambos will be better, the Damaras will be better. It will be all Namibians capacitated in one pool from where you will extract. And for as long as the job is properly done, you don't need to go on race lines. You don't need to remind us of race lines.
Yeah, I think there was context to that. But let's move on, Mr. President. You then said to him that he is glorifying, Professor Diescho was glorifying the tribalist that is the most tribalist, Sam Nujoma. In what way is Sam Nujoma a tribalist, and the most tribalist for that matter?
You see, President Sam Nujoma, former president, founding president Sam Nujoma, I always use this statement: the Namibian people has given him a blank check, signed blank check. It was just up to him to implement everything. And he has failed in addressing the land question.
Does that make him a tribalist?
Yes.
If failure to deliver land makes someone a tribalist?
Yes, it does. Because land was taken away from specific nation communities. And has he had the plight, the specific plight of these nation communities, he would have done better. And to add salt to injury, at the second national conference, founding President Nujoma and former President Pohamba, they went with a position paper that ancestral land should not be addressed by the second land conference. Why not? If it is one of the thorniest issues in the flesh of the Namibian people, specifically the Nama, the Ovaherero, San Damaras, from where ancestral land was taken. For those specific tribes, why doesn't he have a soft heart to say that these people have suffered the most, and generational wealth they have been deprived of, and their generational wealth are still in the hands of those who have taken this land from them forcefully by the barrel of the gun. So the issue of tribalism kicks in that specifically the Ovahereros, the Namas, the San are tribal groups, and they should enjoy a priority, a specifically targeting priority to restore their situation to where they were, to where they were. And
So, yeah.
if you do not divide it against tribal lines, why don't you see those tribal communities?
So in your opening remarks, you raised land as one of the issues that are still pending.
Yes.
Since independence. But we've had 5 presidents now. We are with our 5th president now, with our 5th president. Are you saying the other 4 in between are also tribalist, if that is your definition? Because Hage Geingob did not resolve the land question. Pohamba did not resolve the land question. Buma did not resolve the land question. Does that make them tribalist?
You see, that's why I have used the degrees of comparisons.
Yeah.
And I have referred to founding President Nyoma as the most. So there are others, but they are not as big as he is.
In what sense?
In the sense of tribalism. So, because I refer to him as the most tribalist, yes. So this is what we're talking about. But back to the issue that the other presidents did not do the job as well. But the issue at point here on your show was making reference to Nyoma, and that's why I have reacted directly to that. I don't think Pohamba, former President Pohamba and former President Hage Geingob were mentioned so prominently in that interview. But be that as it may, former President or late President Hage Geingob, I would say on the issue of land resolution, he has done more, because he has allowed the Second National Land Conference to deliberate on the most delicate issue of ancestral land.
Yeah,
and resolutions.
But even President Geingob did not agree to the ancestral land, to the concept, to say that, because I understand I don't necessarily say that I agree with them, but I think what the point they were making is to say, if you say we must, because President Geingob was very clear to say we are a unitary state now. If you want to set up in Otapi from Witoto, go and settle in Otapi, and vice versa. Because the concept in the minds of many was like, if you are Vambu, only Vambus must live there. That is their ancestral land. Hereros must live in that, and he's saying, no, that is dangerous. That was the context.
You see, that concept is only in the minds of the tribalists, that who should settle who should settle where. The Constitution allows that anyone can settle anywhere. We agree with that. But we are saying, as an organization, those people who were disadvantaged more must be what? Must be brought, must deliberately be targeted to be uplifted for their situation to be improved. So you can't tell me that somebody from Utapi must be resettled before somebody from Owitoto. Or you can't tell me that...
No, of course.
No, hold it. Yeah. And you can't tell me that 5 people from Utapi must be resettled and only 1 from Karas. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
A formula would, for instance, say, from the total farms of resettlement that are available, 40% will be specifically targeted for those communities who have lost land.
I agree.
And 60% must go to my political cronies, if you like. So to say, you see, there are so many challenges. To say anybody from Owitoto, anybody from anywhere can go and settle in Otapi, you're making it sound so easy.
No, it has to be measured. It's not.
Yes.
It's not just a blank check that
Exactly.
I still believe that Okalongo, where I come from, must be predominantly occupied by people who originated from that area.
Yes.
But if a guy from your area comes and settles there, we shouldn't hound him out saying, "Oh, you are not from here." So that is.
Will I find a piece of land there to settle?
If you could, if you could.
If I could.
Yes.
But I can't.
No, if you can't, it's not because you are from elsewhere. I'm saying if you can't because
Yes.
of mere unavailability of that
Yes.
plot of land.
Yes.
But it's not because it's not available to you because of your identity. That's not what I mean.
So have it always in your mind and in consideration that for as much as I want to go and settle in Okalongo,
Yeah.
it will be a mountain to climb.
No, it shouldn't be.
It should, because land is not available there.
Yeah, availability again
Yes.
is a separate thing.
Yes.
It's supposed to
Is
not accommodate
one
you
measure,
there because of.
is one measure why I wouldn't settle there.
Yeah.
And given that challenge, myself, who have got nowhere to go, must be given special consideration to say, even if this person wanted to go elsewhere,
Yeah.
he cannot go there. He must just be resettled where he has originally come from. And I can tell you,
Yeah.
there is a Department of Resettlement or Ministry of Resettlement or whatever,
Yeah.
but nobody has been resettled. What is the purpose of that department or ministry?
I understand.
Yeah.
So
if you resettle me,
yeah.
you take me back to where I was. Nobody was specifically targeted and deliberately taken back to where they were post-independent, post-colonialism, and all these type of things. So why are we smoke screening it as if we are doing something? We are not doing something. We are settling those we want to settle. And if you take statistics of the so-called resettlement, it speaks volumes that things has always been skewed and in the advantage of the others who were not disadvantaged by the historical factors that has brought us here.
I understand, Chief. Mr. President, we have 1 minute left. I want to put the last question to you, if you can be concise in addressing it. So when you say Sam Nujoma is tribalist on the grounds that you mentioned, and I look at your letter to Professor Diescho here, you're talking about Hosea Kutako knew, you say he knew and advocated for Namibia way before Sam Nujoma. I don't know what the context is. And then you come here and talk about the Namibian identity was created by Professor Mburumba Karina. These are men from your tribe. So, I do not disagree with the role played by those two revered men, but they were older men, especially Chief Kutako, and to expect Sam Nujoma, who was a younger man, to have been conscious at the same time as Chief Kutako is unfair. It's like these politicians today who ask us when we criticize them, where were you when we were fighting for Namibia? I was not born. So, does that not make you even a more tribally conscious man when you are only talking about the men from your tribe?
You see, there's a difference between talking about, you see, one thing that you have to know, you fight war with war until diplomacy finds a political situation. And you fight fire with fire until fire is contained, and then you start using water and powder and the like. Tribalism, wherever it rears its head, it needs to be fought heads on. Because these statements that we are making them look so innocent. Even in your dissertation paper, you have mentioned, and you quoted from Yunin, that Namibia, German Southwest Africa, was divided in two zones, the police zone and the other zone, north and northeast. And the police zone is where the whites lived, and the north and northeast is where the, what do you call these things? The reserves, were, which is not true. Even though you have quoted it from somewhere, you know the message to be narrated will not be correct.
Are you referring to my own dissertation? You read it?
Yes. So, meaning these reserves, what do you call it? What is the term that you use there? Were all over. They were not only in the north and northeast.
Yeah.
In the central, there were reserves. In the east, there were reserves. In the south, were reserves.
I mean homelands.
Homelands.
Yeah.
So, meaning, if you quote that thing, maybe you quoted it trying to convey a different message altogether. Because why did you quote it? Because homelands were all over in Namibia. But the reader will understand homelands were just north of the police zone. So whatever we say is carrying a different message from that you see. And that messages are those that need to be confronted. And always, the one that is tribalist is afraid to hear the word tribalist.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he has done last summer. Myself, tribalist is a is a word in the vocab of any dictionary, and it must be used whenever appropriate.
Yeah.
So and I can guarantee you, tribalism I will fight till the end. Because it's tribalism that has brought Namibia here.
Yeah.
Because that's why Namibia is poor. I can take you right through Namibia and tell you, why is this development here more?
Yeah.
And here is zero development. Take Korigas. Are you going to get, okay, that is now beyond, besides my tribe. Take Korigas. Are you going to get a high-rise building that has been built by the locals there? Zero. Do you want to tell me those people have got money, have got no money, have got no entrepreneurial ideas to come up with those type of buildings? No. It's because the others were more advantaged and the others were more disadvantaged. That's how it happens like that. Go to Kietmanshoop, the same.
Yeah,
Go to Tsumkwe, it's the same. Is that not tribalism?
You've made your point, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming to the platform today. Thank you for coming.
And how much have you shared your dissertation to the ministries and government departments? They need to read it.
Yeah, it's online.
Online. No. You need to go through. We are all old men leading those departments and ministries. Yeah. We don't trust online. Go drop them copies.
So, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. I'm very honored that you have stumbled upon it and read through it. I appreciate it. That is welcome, Kazondunge.
Say welcome.
Say welcome, Kazondunge.
Officially knighted by the Queen.
Yeah, absolutely. President of All Africans Assembly, gracing our platform tonight. Thank you for watching.